Come on.
When we first went to the club, we smashed it up, you know, we wrecked the chairs and we smashed the windows, and in the end we got fed up with doing that, so we all got together and said, right, we got to have, you know, something that's going to start the club off. So we decided to have a committee, and from there a chairman, and they elected me to be chairman, so I had a bit of brain, you know. Whereas all the others like smashing things up and doing this and that. I said, right, we'll have a committee and a chairman, and we'd arrange things from there, you know. And it went well for a couple of months, and then they started getting fed up again. And then we started painting the club up, and that's how it became the Paint House. Only because we started to paint it up. It's nicknamed the Paint House, and that was our club, you know. We could do anything we wanted in there, you know. Wasn't like any other youth club. We go in there and they say, right, you've got to do this, you know, you mustn't do that. And it was our club. We could do what we wanted, you know. And we got to realise this, and we just built it up how we wanted it, you know.
Yeah. No one helped us out. Schools never helped you out, nothing. Or the authority, police, everything. Your mother and father, they was all the same, really.
Well, let me put it this way. Suppose in a few years' time we get a new outbreak of something like skinheads. I mean, there will be something.
Yeah.
How would you recommend that they should be helped when it happens?
Well, by places like the Paint House.
And what's the important thing about the Paint House? What made it work for you?
Well, I don't know, you just went up there and you weren't told to do anything, you know. You could have done what you want.
And yet, for some reason, you wanted to stay. Something made you want to stay.
Because they never told us to do anything, you know what I mean? They just said, well, if you want to smash out the place, you smash out the place. And we did, and then you realise that that's not the only thing in life, smashing up things and kicking people's heads in. And I mean, after a while, you realise you want to help people and things like that.
It seems from what you're saying as though the worst thing in your life in those days was authority of any kind.
Yeah. Well, it was really, because you know. I mean, let's face it. If someone tells you to go and run over there and pick up that bucket, like in school, they used to say to you, sweep the playground, and you just didn't want that. No one wants that.
If later on you have kids and they become skinheads or whatever the equivalent is, then they get involved in gang violence, what will you think? What will you do?
What will I do? Well, I think they should have this amount of freedom as what we had, without the authorities keep pulling them up about it. Otherwise it just makes it go inwardly and they break out in later life.
In what way might that happen?
Well, you get villains knocking about now, around here especially, of 30 and 40, still going about fighting like a load of little kids. Whereas if they weren't suppressed when they was young, leaving school, it would have all been worn out by now, you know, and there wouldn't be so much violence between older people.